verse 12. Let the nations be wakened. Come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which, as I mentioned, is a valley outside the city of Jerusalem. And then notice, for there I will sit to judge all the nations. Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, go down, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Now you'll notice that in the Old Testament, when God was dealing with literal Israel, you're talking about the literal city of Jerusalem, and you're talking about the literal valley of Jehoshaphat. But when you come to the book of Revelation, the valley of Jehoshaphat is universalized or globalized because we're told there that it includes the whole earth. We already read it. And Jerusalem no longer is the little Jerusalem in the Middle East. Jerusalem is God's worldwide people that are gathered every place on planet Earth. And the Bible says that there are going to be two groups. There's going to be God's faithful people who have the seal of God gathered spiritually in Jerusalem, but all over the world. And then you're going to have Babylon, those who have the mark of the beast. They're also gathered surrounding God's people all over the world with the intention of destroying them. By the way, you remember in Revelation chapter 13, it says that those who do not worship the beast or receive the mark, first of all, they would be forbidden from buying and selling. And then in Revelation 13 verse 15, it says that whoever does not receive the mark of the beast should be killed. In other words, the powers of the earth, the nations of the earth are going to gather against God's people who keep the commandments of God, who have the seal of God, and who are faithful to the Lord. And God's people are gathered spiritually in Jerusalem. The wicked are gathered spiritually in Babylon. You know, I find it very interesting that many commentators on Bible prophecy say that Babylon at the end of time is not really literal Babylon. Babylon represents Rome or spiritual Rome or the papacy, which is global worldwide system. But they're not consistent. They don't follow up on that. Because if Babylon is worldwide or global, then Jerusalem, which Babylon comes against, must also be global and worldwide. You can't have it both ways. They're either literal, both of them, or they're spiritual, both of them. And then notice verse 14, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. And now notice what's going to happen in that day. The sun and moon will grow dark, and the stars will diminish their brightness. These are signs when Jesus comes, according to Matthew chapter 24. The Lord also will roar from Zion and utter His voice from Jerusalem. The heavens and earth will shake, but the Lord, notice this, will be a shelter for His people and the strength of the children of Israel. Why would God need to be the shelter for His people and the strength for the children of Israel? Because according to this passage and Revelation 14, the wicked who have the mark of the beast, who follow the beast, who worship his image, are coming against God's people to destroy them all over the world. Notice verse 17. So you shall know that I am the Lord your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then Jerusalem shall be holy, and no aliens shall ever pass through her again. The expression pass through her means attack her and try to destroy her and pillage her. Verse 18, and it will come to pass in that day that, and this is speaking about once Jesus comes, once you have the new heavens and the new earth, it says, and it will come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drip with new wine. The hills shall flow with milk,